and welcome to the David Tomsic Show, fighting tyranny one day at a time. Thank you for coming back to watch me. Donald Trump's birthday is on June 14th, and he's throwing a big bash, big celebration. Are you invited? I was not put on the list. There must have been an error. Whoever made that list didn't put me on, because I would have loved to have gone and celebrated with the Donald. Wow, but I did not. So how much is this parade going to cost me and you? The only reason I even bring this up is because he's been basically firing people across the land, cutting budgets across the land to basically have a big buffer for him to give his tax credits to the rich. The big, beautiful bill. So he's cut all these funds, all this money. He's hurting the safety of America. He's hurting our environment, our ability to deal with pandemics, our ability to deal with the flu. He's cut all those jobs. He's been after, him and RFK, all the people that keep us safe in the health field industry. We don't need them, do we? And yet he's going to spend $45 million on a parade. How many people could that help? How many college loans could that help pay for people who need it? But that's not all. See, there's more to this. I know 3.1 million was for just paying the troops and having them have food 3 meals a day. I think it's $69 a meal, I think is what I've read. Good. I hope the troops eat well. I just don't think they should be eating well at a parade in honor of the President of the United States when he's pretty much caused chaos across the land. Yeah, rabbit hole. But it's okay, because that's not all. They figure the roads are going to be damaged by tanks. See, we need tanks to go through this parade because there must be an alien invasion. You remember all those alien invasion movies, especially in the 50s. Tanks in Washington, D.C. fighting off the aliens. Well, he's fighting off illegal aliens, but that's another story. He's going down in history as the big illegal alien fighter. I'm sure history will look back on him and smile. So, this $16 million, no one knows who's going to pay for it. Looks like the District of Columbia might be stuck with this bill because he said he's not paying it. Okay, Donald, don't pay it because you never paid anybody anyway. Why start now? Why start now? Okay, so here, let's go farther down here. And as soon as my computer works. Now, what happened here? I want to read something he said about his parade. When asked about it, of course, he had to talk about it. A narcissist, psychopath, sociopath is going to talk about it. He said on Saturday, Donald Trump said, we're going to be operating big. Big! Then he said, if there's any protesters who want to come out there, they're going to be met with very big force. By the way, for those people who want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. Twice. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but this is for you to know. People that hate our country, they will be met with very heavy force. So he threatened the American people 3 times that they'll be met with very heavy force. First of all, this is still America, Donald. You haven't totally overthrown it yet. I know you're trying very hard, and your fascist brown shirts are working very hard with you, supporting you and hiding all the screw-ups you do and making excuses for you, but you're still not the dictator-in-chief yet. So guess what? In America, and for those of you that don't know, we're in America. You have a right to protest. Don't talk to me about don't block alleyways and streets. You should hear these people tell me. I don't care. We have a right to protest. Don't tell me we can't, and don't tell me and threaten me that you'll send the dogs on me because I'm basically following through with my constitutional right. And those that support that, shut up. Whew. So, now he said this 3 times. That might have been he just was making a point, right? Or maybe it's the cognitive decline he's starting to show in many, many ways. If you listen to as many of his basically press conferences and meetings, you realize he's either really, really stupid, that's true, and he's facing cognitive decline. He didn't know that there was a Pearl Harbor. He didn't know who was fighting whom. I mean, it's really bad. Now, keep in mind, people who follow me, he really doesn't know most of this stuff. He doesn't. He never read. He didn't read history. He didn't do anything. Now, I know people, there's an ex-family member that has actually said he's the most brilliant man that ever lived, but he doesn't know anything. And how do you run a country when you don't know history? You don't know how things work. And of course, we can tell his decisions have caused chaos in this country and wreaked havoc around the world and put us on the do not fly list. More and more countries are telling their people not to come here. Pretty much, the tourist industry in America is falling apart thanks to President Donald Fascist Trump. So he's going to have this celebration. Keep in mind, he doesn't care if you get hurt at the celebration. He's going to make sure he has fun and he shows the people he's in control. And he's not going to let anybody from the peasant class get away with a protest. He's not going to tolerate it. In his country, in his America, you don't do anything like that. In his America, there's no such things as freedom to disagree with Donald Trump. Once again, those people that don't get that's what they're supporting. And I hate to say this, some people are so not really smart, and they don't kind of put two and two together. They can't draw the lines together and say, oh yeah, that's a sunrise, that's a boat. They can't do it. So they just believe it. They don't see that this is who he is. Don't get it. So as we know, he seized control of the California National Guard and now wants to, and basically, or is thinking about invoking the Insurrection Act. Now, if he invokes the Insurrection Act, that's the Insurrection Act of 1807. It was used about 30 times since then. And I mentioned yesterday on my video, the last time was in 1963, I think, in Alabama, by Lyndon Baines Johnson. But that was to protect the civil rights of American citizens, of black people. Right now, he wants to use it against law-abiding citizens so he can take more power. Rabbit hole alert. Okay, so if he suspends, or if he basically invokes the Insurrection Act, that automatically suspends Posse Comitatus, which is, and I've said this on this program, I'll read it again because a lot of people are new, they come in. The Posse Comitatus Act, I think that's how you pronounce it, forbids the military from getting involved in local or state law enforcement. Invoking this law is rare and only has occurred 30 times in history. But the authoritarian regime in Washington, D.C. wants to bypass federal laws. You see, they want to weaponize the military against the U.S. population, well, especially those that are protesting against Donald Trump. Here's the problem with that. That's very difficult to navigate because the laws are pretty laid out. To invoke the Insurrection Act is a big deal. He's going to get a lot of pushback on that. So what he's going to do is what he always does, find a way around it. Just send the military out and don't say anything. It's just, there's so much crime. We have to stop protests. Well, there was a grave escalation by his Homeland Security Director, Kristi Noem. This woman, again, is going to be doing prison time if I had anything to say about it. She requested military arrest in Los Angeles. Here's what she said. In a letter obtained by the San Francisco Chronicle, Noem wrote to the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, from one incompetent to another. The chain goes unbroken, friends. The letter that the Pentagon should direct military forces to either detain, just as they would at any federal facility guarded by military, lawbreakers under Title 18, until they can be arrested and processed by federal law enforcement. Now, the Posse Comitatus Act prohibits the military from taking part in domestic law enforcement without the authorization of Congress. So he's just going to do it. He's not going to go to Congress. No, let's be honest. People, Congress is going to do something for the American people? You got to be kidding me. The Republican fascist brown shirts in Congress will back Donald Trump because this is an insurrection. These people are out to overthrow America. They hate America. No. These people love America, and they love what America really stands for. Freedom. Immigration. And I said yesterday, and I'll say again today, if you want to call that person illegal, that person working in that strawberry field that 3 armed men had to run after to arrest, if you want to just say to him, instead of spending all that money sending people out to get him, let's say, dude, come here. Do you want to be an American citizen? What's your status? Let's talk. Let's look into you. And if we can, you're going to be a citizen because you're working hard in this country doing a task obviously no one else wants to do. But no, send armed men in masks and full gear to get this one lone older immigrant who's picking strawberries in the field. That takes a lot of cojones. So Kristi Noem wants to turn the military into a raging bull in a china shop. Remember that saying? You're like a raging bull in a china shop. My mother always told me that because I was clumsy. I'd break everything. But this is what happens when you use people who aren't designed for law enforcement and put them into law enforcement situations. It doesn't work. That's why we have Posse Comitatus. Okay, I'll take a break. Hey, if you like mysteries, legends, and myths, we have a channel. It's called Nights Around the Fire. There's 3 of us, myself, Ashley, and Sue. We investigate mysteries, legends, and myths around the world. We now have 4 videos up. We're making another one today. So please go to that channel, Nights Around the Fire. I have a link in the description box. Please go. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you. So Kristi Noem is trying to take police state actions without Donald Trump having to invoke the Insurrection Act. He still may do that. He might. I don't know. I can't read a maniac's mind, a madman's mind. I have no idea. But he's considering it. Either way, these fascists are trying to quell protests against Donald Trump and ICE. They're trying to quell them. And of course, it's really hard to do because people have empathy. They have hearts. They see what's happening. This is not just local in LA. These protests are moving across the country. As of the other day, there were 17 cities involved and the District of Columbia, and I'm sure that will expand. Trump has also promised to increase raids across the United States, and he promised to send 9,000 illegal immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. Tom Homan admitted that they are just not targeting criminals. He admitted this. Donald Trump said, we're only targeting criminals, but Tom Homan let the cat out of the bag. He at least decided not to continue to lie because he's a bum and he's a liar. He says they just are going to get rid of anybody, illegal or not. They're going to get rid of anybody that they think should go, which is everybody that's brown. Donald Trump also wants to ban immigration from all third world countries. Now, most third world countries are brown or black. There you go. I rest my case again. Now, I know his white friends on the right would love that because, you know, their culture's being sucked away by illegal immigration. Their lives are being ruined. They're becoming poor somehow because of it. They're being hurt. This is just more white people trying to keep the country white. That's really what it is. And unfortunately, that probably won't happen. In 2045, there will be more people that are brown or brown-colored skin than there are white people. That's the projections. It could be sooner. It could be a little later. That's the projections. I'm not concerned about it. I don't care. But believe me, a lot of white folks do. Don't tell anybody. Now, he threatened to put troops everywhere and promised his Gestapo will terrorize more cities across the nation. More men and women in masks will abduct people and throw them in unmarked vehicles. And by the way, as I said, they're going to abduct them whether they're legal or not. They're just going to grab them. They're just going to throw them in a van. No due process. Just throw them in a van. That's the way we do it here in a fascist America. Okay, I'm going to comment here. I'm going to comment quickly. I sometimes get long-winded, I was told. The America I want is America based on truth, fairness, and freedom for all. That's what I've always wanted. I have said on this channel that I was in that group, the right-wing conspiracy theorist Republican group, for many years. I have said I've watched Fox News over and over again for hours at a time. It was on most of the day. I was a little loco. I admit that. And it did affect me. It did brainwash me into believing that somehow right-wing ideology is the only way to go in America, keeping America white again. Unfortunately, that's not reality. Now, as a Christian, I believe the words of Jesus and I take them to heart. One of the biggest commands he had is love the Lord thy God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. I don't care about borders, and I don't care about the culture. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care how it's affected. My job as a human being is to love people, is to reach out and help people. The rest of it's just political jargon. It's ideology. It's racism and hatred. And we should not tolerate that in America. And I respect every single person who's gone out to protest against these tactics used by the Trump administration. I respect them and understand what they're trying to fight for. They're trying to fight for freedom. They're trying to fight for legitimacy. I'll say this again. If you want to just get rid of the criminals first, you do that. And let's talk about all the ones that aren't criminals next. Let's have a conversation. Let's give them a path to citizenship. The reason we don't do that is because they're brown or black. They speak a different language. Our culture is going to be affected and run over. Our way of life is going to be changed. I don't see many upper class people hurting right now. And they're going to be doing better under Donald Trump. As soon as he gets all his tax bills through and as soon as he makes America great again and makes America white again, they're going to be back in the driver's seat. For me and you must join the resistance. Hit the subscribe button. Show us that you care. Show us you want to support what we believe here. Show us you want to stand for freedom in America. Believe me, in the end, that's the only right thing to do. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Don't forget the Knights Around the Fire video channel. Link in the description box. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow right here on the David Tomsik Show, where truth does matter.